Well, good morning. 3 really good readings, huh? And they should inspire us to ask ourselves about 3 different topics: faith, experience Jesus, and apostleship. First, faith. There are 2 types of faith. The faith expressed by Paul in that second reading, where he gives a brief summary of what it means, what the Christian message is all about. To have faith in that way is to accept that a message is true and credible. But there's another level of faith, which sometimes we don't catch, but it's often built into all of the Gospels. The Greek word for faith is better translated as trust. And to have faith in Jesus is to put your trust in Him. And trust is different than acceptance. We might compare those 2 different types of faith. One is believing someone, but the other is believing in someone. They're very different. Subtle, but very different. Both levels are at work when we talk about our Christian faith. But the second, that's the real test. A faith that not only accepts the content of God's message, but it involves a total surrender to Him. A complete trust. I'm looking at Deanna. Think about it. When you have a baby, all of you parents, the way a baby trusts their parents, that's the way this trust in God should be translated. Completely. And it's basically what we see happening in today's gospel. Peter and his companions, they're the experts. They know all about fishing in the lake. And after a whole night's work, they haven't caught anything. And then Jesus comes along, and after he's finished preaching, he tells them, go out into deep water and drop your nets. And you hear that little bit of skepticism in Peter's voice. We were the professionals. We spent the whole night fishing and we caught nothing. Today's a wasted day, but okay, I will do it just for you. We'll see what happens. And the result, of course, absolutely overwhelming, astounding. This is where Peter and his companions, they experience the difference of meeting and trusting in Jesus. What can He do? How different that is than just complying with someone. They were completely shocked at the number of fish they caught. They're completely confused. They're awestruck. It changes the whole way they look outside. And Peter says, go away from me, Lord, I am a sinful man. He realizes that he has come in contact with something so much greater than what he can even comprehend. And that second key word today, that's what this talks about, that experience with Jesus. To be a Christian, first and foremost, is to develop a relationship with our Lord, such that we can experience Him in our everyday lives. He calls us to live joyfully and peacefully in a world that is surrounded by pain and turmoil. And that third word, apostleship. And apostleship is different from discipleship. A disciple is someone who listens and studies the word of a master and tries to incorporate it into their lives. But an apostle goes a step further. He listens, he incorporates into his life, but then he must share that experience with others. And that's really that difference. That's that, after that sensational catch of fish, Peter's absolutely overwhelmed by what happened to him. He knows this is an experience that is something really special. And it's a reaction we find in all three of the readings today. Isaiah says, "What a wretched state I am in. I am lost. I am a man of unclean lips." And Paul, who's not particularly known for his modesty, "I am the least of the apostles." And in spite of their weaknesses, Jesus tells Peter, "Do not be afraid. You will now be catching men." Peter, Paul, Isaiah, they were all apostles. They heard the word. They trusted. They experienced. And then they went out to share that experience. "Here I am, send me," said Isaiah. "I've worked harder than any of the others," said Paul. Faith in Jesus leads all of us to that experience of knowing Him and putting Him in the center of our lives. It's an experience that we have to share, not because we're told to do so, but because we just can't help ourselves. We just feel compelled to do it. It was that kind of faith, that kind of experience, that caused Peter, James, and John to completely just leave their boats, walk away from the catch of fish, walk away from their communities, and follow Jesus. Are we prepared to do the same?
Please like, subscribe, and comment below. God bless you.